Oh, do I feel good today? What is up, universe? Welcome into DTL Driving the Line. We are live every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Also, we are simulcast on our YouTube channel. Wherever Stadium is, though, you will find us. Amazon Prime Video, Roku TV, YouTube TV. 1 week from today, we'll be live on DirecTV as well. Now, as always, and we are the most transparent show in all of sports betting, and I can take my losses like a man. What's not going to happen is when you talk trash all day, you send tweets 6 seconds into the game. That's fine. I owe 5 memberships. We're not going to do it this morning. We're going to do it on Primetime Live tonight, and I will always pay off my debt. But that will be the last showdown I do because you've got to learn how to talk trash, and that's not the way to do it. I'm just messing around. We've got plenty of content today. Sometimes you got to take it right there on the chin. Now, easiest thing to do, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Always, we are bringing you new content. Now, I tell you, we also have a brand new podcast. It drops audio every single weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern time for you premium members. And there's going to be 5 of you that are brand new today, courtesy of your boy, AB. They get the video of said podcast. Good morning, sir. What a weekend.
Good morning, Coach. It was a great weekend. You're right. And they do get the video of the podcast every day, about 3 p.m. Eastern, roughly. It's loaded, ready to go.
Now, we do have some breaking news, AB, before we even bring in the crew. And we've got so much to get to. Monday Night Football, primetime live tonight on Stadium, 7 Eastern, 8, Bucs and the Chiefs. But just moments ago, courtesy Adam Schefter at ESPN, the Saints have fired head coach Dennis Allen. He is out. So another head coach bites the dust. Are you surprised?
I'm surprised that it happened today. I didn't see that coming. I didn't think Doug Peterson would outlast him, right? But, yeah, the locker room is bad. You got to go. Somebody does.
You got to go. I guess when you have a moral victory in Jacksonville, you score 23 points against the Eagles, that will save your job for 1 more week. All right, we got the best crew in the business. It's a Monday. We've got Monday mishaps. We've got quarterback. We've got running backs. We've got receivers, and we also have the Howie Schwab crew play of the day. AB, what are the choices today?
Shout out to the king there, Howie Schwab. We miss you every day, buddy. All right, we're going Monday Night Football here. All right, 4 options, 1 game. Going Bucs +9, Chiefs -9, Bucs-Chiefs over 45.5 or under 45.5. Polls in the chat. Vote now. Update as we always do at the end of the show.
You know how you can tell when somebody hasn't watched your show for a while, AB?
How's that?
When in the chat somebody says, "Bruh, when did Coach leave the other show?" Oh, I don't know. A year ago. It's time for the picks. Let's go, producer man. Oh, and this is an embarrassment of riches. And first and foremost, from South Florida, the man is back, and he might be the worst thing to ever happen to Michigan, and go blue. Good morning, Z-Man. How are you?
And it's not my fault that I have been in Ann Arbor twice this season, and they have lost both those games. That was a very good Texas team in week number 2, and it was the number 1 Oregon Ducks this past weekend. Just because Michigan struggles with the forward pass, you cannot blame that on me, Coach.
Well, it's great to see you back, and you arrived home safely. Now, next, he is the man from the dirty, and he has you covered all the way around. Big Chuck. Charles, good morning.
Morning, Coach, crew. I'm excited to see some Champions League and Europa League back, and hopefully Zaslow makes it back down to Baton Rouge this week for that big Alabama game.
Is that where you're going to be? Alabama, LSU this week? Yes?
No. I'm going to South Bend. We're going to see Notre Dame and the worst team in the country, Florida State.
Wow, quite the thought process there. Okay, now next, this is going to be the last time you see his face on DTL until we have a new president of the United States of America. He is our numbers guy, Rafael Esparza. Good morning, sir. Oh, no! Oh, no!
I did it!
Boo this man! Boo this man!
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. That was all on me 100% because I'm excited for college basketball today. I'm pumped. I get to watch Baylor and Gonzaga late tonight.
Oh, yeah. I literally have said nothing about that, but it might be coming up later in the show. AB, go.
Yeah, I just had to say, look, the Saints, the reason that they fired Dennis Allen is because it's LSU Bama week, and they had to cut off a head. LSU and Baton Rouge going to be wild as hell, man. I can't wait for it.
Shout out quickly to Kevin. He's feeling the vibe today. He just gifted 5 new premium memberships. So, Kevin, shout out to you. If you have a good week and you want to do that and bring more people into the premium world, we encourage that, and we like that. All right, gentlemen, tonight it's a showcase, and it is, yes, I'll be wearing my Chiefs gear tonight for Primetime Live. You best believe it. So the Kansas City Chiefs, AB, they have won 13 games in a row. This number has now grown up to 9, the total 45.5. Now, let's keep in mind, the Bucs are the only team to beat the Detroit Lions this season. Your first take of the day. AB, go.
How are the Bucs going to score? All right, that's my question. I'm not saying they can't. I'm asking how and who, because you're not going to have, all right, your 2 biggest wide receivers gone out of the game. So that's the biggest question to me. I know the Chiefs could score. Can the Bucs hold up?
That's a big question. Z, I'm coming right over to you, big boy, because the Chiefs are still undefeated, but they haven't played a game all year where you go, man, that was a complete game. Why do you think they're undefeated?
Listen, they have a great defense. Everybody knows that. Travis Kelce has come on the last couple of weeks, but I think it's pretty clear that the Detroit Lions are the best team in the NFL. Like, Kansas City can be undefeated, and that's fine, but it's exactly what you just said there. There haven't been many games this year where you look at what Kansas City did, like, wow, top to bottom, just dominant performance. And I'll tell you, I really like Tampa tonight. Kansas City's not going undefeated this year. I understand it's Monday Night Football at Arrowhead. They're going to lose to somebody. I really like Tampa tonight.
Let's keep in mind the Bucs have won in Detroit this year, and we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions coming up in about 18 minutes from right now, so can't wait to hear Z-Man's take on that. Now, speaking of numbers, let me come over to you, Raphael, because we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Because the Chiefs historically in the Patrick Mahomes era, they do not cover spreads. And they at one point were 5-1. They didn't cover their last game, still won. It was a late touchdown when they're up by 14. But why do you think at least this year they have such a good against the spread number?
Defense, and more defense. That is why they're covering games. But I'm going to answer AB's question. Who's going to score for the Bucs? In Baker, we trust. I think Baker is going to be slinging it all over. But if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, the favorites went 13-1 this week in Week 9 and 10-4 against the spread. And this one will move to 9.5. There's 2 offshore books that just moved it to 9.5 this morning. So if you like that 9, I grab it.
Okay, Big Chuck, let me come over to you. 10-4 favorites this weekend. We're starting to see certain teams flex their muscles. And Z-Man had a great take earlier last week about how when you get to the middle of the season, this is kind of who teams are. So in your opinion, when you look at this number, do the books have it right? Is this who they are?
At this point, I would think the value would be on Tampa to take the points. I also like the under in this spot because I agree with AB. I don't see how Tampa Bay is going to put up many points. So the under just sticks out to me. This is also a nice teaser spot to get that KC number down to around 3.5 and push that total up to around 51.5. So I think this is a prime teaser spot. But if I had to take anything, I would be looking at Tampa and the points and the under.
Okay. It's an interesting. Whenever you have something so high and then you have a lower under, it's very difficult to take both. All right, we got to get into our picks. We got a lot to get to in the next 5 or 6 minutes or so. And as you can tell, it's a vibe this morning. I'm feeling good. Hopefully you guys are too. Somebody in the chat said if LSU beats Bama this weekend, they are gifting 5 premium memberships. We'll see. We have a full college football preview coming up on Wednesday morning. All right, we've got day soccer, 2 of our favorite words in the DTL universe. Big Chuck, coming back over to you. I need those 2 to start.
EPL, Fulham versus Brentford. Match day 10 wraps up with a London derby, and I'm riding with my weekly auto play. Brentford, first half team total over half a goal. The Bees have scored a first half goal in 7 straight matches and 3 of their last 4 versus Fulham. Next up, Serie Parma versus Genoa. Parma, team total over 1.5 as they average 1.6 team goals at home, while Genoa concedes 1.14 goals on the road.
Boom and boom. Even in soccer, they have kind of a Monday night football type of thing. And even in Serie I love when you say that, Charles. By the way, AB, I'm coming over to you. You got 2 plays, but there's a very important question in the chat. This is the start of NCAA basketball season. Do you know how many days it is until baseball?
It is. We're about 84 days away, February 16th, generally. All right. It starts right around Valentine's Day. So, yeah.
I like it. All right.
Yep.
Give me your 2, big boy.
All right. So tonight we're going rushing attempts here, and we're going to do it on both quarterbacks. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. You all know we've said it every week. All right. Not only will he use his legs, but kneel downs count as rushing attempts as well. So we're going to take Mahomes over 4.5 rushing attempts at -120. Next, Baker Mayfield. You know what happens when a quarterback looks around, flushed out of the pocket, and says, I don't have anyone to throw to? Yeah, you got to run it yourself, Chief. And that's what Baker Mayfield's going to do. And over 3.5. I thought that this number would be much higher. So I like Baker over 3.5 rushing attempts as well at -115.
All right. Shout out to Tony. He said AB is money in college baseball. You're damn right. We cashed a bunch of tickets last year. Now, I'm coming over to you, Z, because you and I have been friends for many, many years. We've been on each other's shows. We've helped each other out. I mean, we've had a really good relationship. But this hurts my heart. This hurts my heart that you would go down this rabbit hole today. So, as a professional, I send it over to you, even though I truly do not want to. You're up.
I mean, making money hurts your heart. You gotta bet with your head, not your heart. Your heart doesn't pay the mortgage. All right. You show up to the store, they tell you how much everything costs. You don't then pay with your heart. No, I'm trying to win some money here tonight, Coach. And I told you, I like the Buccaneers. Chiefs aren't going undefeated. All right, they're gonna lose a game. And I looked at the Chiefs' schedule a few weeks ago when they were like 5-0, and kind of look at the next few weeks. All right, where do we think they could slip up? And at the 49ers was certainly a spot where you could have figured the Chiefs won that game by 10, but it was Andy Reid and the Chiefs coming off a bye. There's no way I thought they were losing that game at San Francisco. But then I saw this Monday night game, and I get it that it's at Arrowhead. And I said, you know what? That's the one right there. That's the one where they get tripped up. And Baker Mayfield is exactly the type of quarterback that would do that. You can't be scared. Everybody knows that. He is definitely not scared going into Arrowhead. Like, there's no way he walks into that environment. It's like, oh, wow, this is really overwhelming. That's the kind of guy that you need to take out the Chiefs for the first time this year. 9 points is a heck of a lot. I'm going Bucs money line. Scare money don't make money. So Buccaneers money line plus 320 tonight. And look, if that's the case, guys, you got to expect Baker to have a huge performance. So let's also go with Baker Mayfield over 250 passing yards. That's at plus 110. And Baker Mayfield 2+ passing touchdowns. That's at plus 130. So we got plus money all over the board here tonight in the Zaslow Mansion.
Oh, man, the damn Zaslow Mansion, too. Just like nails on the chalkboard. Well done, Z-Man. Well done. All right, Raphael, I got exactly 1 minute left for you. Perfect timing. Next level hosting. You're up.
Thanks, Coach, for letting me following that. Bucs-Chiefs, both teams to score 20+ points, plus 150. I'm going against AB on that one. And then give me Baker Mayfield over 236 passing yards, -3 nickels. He's hit 300 yards 3 straight games. Why 236? This one should be 246. Very low number.
You like those two, Raphael?
Yes, I do.
You like those two? I got distracted. I got the big screen on over here, and Z's big face and bald head is on right now because they run a few seconds behind the actual live show. And he's over here still saying the Bucs on the money line. I can't wait for primetime live tonight. I'm already vibing. It's only 7:14 out here. Real quick, how does Patrick Mahomes not throw an interception tonight? He's got more interceptions, AB, than he's got touchdowns. And we have the no-fly zone tonight, correct? 15 seconds?
We do, yes. And Patrick Mahomes is facing it. The Bucs defense is for real in some spots. Just go ahead and do it. Mahomes love throwing interception in every game. Take it.
All right, we've got that. All right, we've got a bunch of memberships going on out there. What a great vibe. The live number is already great. Now, still to come, we've got Monday mishaps. What was the biggest thing my crew didn't like about this football weekend? We've got matchups. We've got educate and entertain. We've got lines. We've got it all. We're just getting started. It's Monday. It's DTL live on Stadium. Okay, all of you degenerates out there, we continue on here on our YouTube page. And Z-Man, this first one's for you because Travis Kelce Saturday night, as his brother was getting into tiffs at the Penn State game. Was he back in Kansas City getting ready for Monday night? No, he was not. He was in Indiana at a Taylor Swift concert. Does this show the focus that a captain needs to have for a Chiefs team playing on Monday night?
Get out of here. You're ridiculous. I mean, how long do you think a private jet from Kansas City to Indianapolis takes? I mean, are we talking 30 minutes, 45 minutes max? I mean, if he got in a car, instead of a private jet and drove an hour to a concert on Saturday night, not the night before a game, say play Monday, if he got in the car for an hour and went to a concert, you wouldn't say anything. He was on a plane, a PJ, for definitely shorter than an hour and went to a show and then flew right back home. I'll bet he was back home before 1 a.m., right into bed. You're nuts if you think that's a thing. That's a big fat nothing burger, Coach.
AB, that was just for Z. He hates when I bring up Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
I love it. Now for Kelce, like how many, like you go to the concert, it's the same thing every time. Does he have AirPods in, like listening to rap music? Like I would very much assume that he does.
Well, I mean, he's over there talking to Mama Raphael. Him and Mama Swift, they're tight these days.
It's twice.
What? What are we doing?
Boo this man.
Two memberships. What? Who are you? Who are you?
I'm actually putting up next head coach to be fired after the Saints did just now. That's on me. But I mean, they're probably planning weddings with Mama Swift. That's probably why they're so tight right now. And yeah, he's probably listening. He's probably listening to a game. He's not listening to that concert.
All right, 10 seconds. Big Chuck.
Big nothing burger. Also nothing. No play for that one.
Oh, you guys are not next level handicappers. You guys don't understand what truly goes in to getting a team ready and getting on a PJ. I know private jets. You guys all know that. Spent many a night on private jets. All right, we're back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, we continue on here on Stadium, Amazon Prime. A week from today, if you have DirecTV, we'll be on DirecTV as well. Quick question before we get into one of your favorite segments of the entire week. Boss Pick says, Coach, how did the father-son golf tournament go? Shout out to DG for hosting last night. First time I have not been in this chair on Stadium. It went great. I played terrible. My son played great. We finished third. If I would have played average, we would have won the damn thing. So my son still loves me, I think. But I played crappy, and he played great, as he always does. All right, now, this is the part of the show where we kind of get things off of our chest. It's not Rant Wednesday. It's Monday mishaps. Like what went wrong in your football world or some other world that just ticks you off or sets you off. AB, as always, start us off.
Texas A&M head coach came in talking that quantity cash, saying, look, we're the last undefeated team in the conference, the only SEC team without a loss, standing on business right here. And what happened? Walked right into South Carolina and got that ass taxed. All right. Thank you, South Carolina. Now we have 0 SEC teams that are undefeated in the conference. It's wide open again. Let's go.
It's going to be very interesting to see exactly how many get in now because everybody's beating everybody. Z, Monday mishap, go.
Yeah, I would actually tell you my mishap is looking forward to this coming weekend. ESPN Radio College Football Tailgate. We travel every single week to the biggest games. The reality of it is we travel to the biggest tailgates. That's why it's College Football Tailgate. We bring the tailgate to you, which is why we're in South Bend for what's probably a terrible game, Notre Dame and Florida State. But that's my Monday mishap is when I looked at this schedule before the season started, I was super pumped to go. I still am to go to South Bend. I've never been to Notre Dame. I think it's going to be a really great environment. But I would have figured, wow, FSU, who came into the season a top 10 team against Notre Dame, that should have been a phenomenal game. Instead, it's Notre Dame against what I believe is the worst team in the country. I mean, 1-8 FSU. It's funny. I mean, I'm giggling about it here in South Florida and as a Florida grad. But come on, FSU, you couldn't put up at least a half-decent season so it could be a better game this weekend? Come on now.
It's tasty so far. All right, Big Chuck, what do you got today? What's your Monday mishap?
Going back to these NFL coaches, take us right to Seattle with the Rams. We go and this kind of plays in part with me having a total to over the 48, but we need a miracle. We get to the 20 and we get to overtime. We have a field goal situation. So now coaches are passing up on field goals in overtime to take the lead. And you kick the field goal there, and what happens? The Rams get the touchdown. That's the 49. But besides the point, this is the point we're at. Coaches are now passing up on points in overtime and still going for it on 4th and 1s.
Now, to be fair, if they score a touchdown, the game's over. That's why they went for it in overtime, to be fair. I understand how you're looking at it. I understand that.
You generally want to take the points, though. In overtime, you generally want to take the points.
Yeah, but if they come back the other way and then they score, they win. So, but I get what you're saying. Plus, that would have cashed at 49, too, if that would have happened. All right, Rafael, big boy. Can we make sure you're I don't want to make you give 3 in one show.
It's on.
Okay,
it's on.
All right,
it's good.
All right.
Good.
What's your Monday mishap today?
I kind of have 2. One, it's November. Why is there hurricanes in the Gulf? And why is this next hurricane called Hurricane Raphael? That's one mishap. The other one, never work with your bosses late at night. The boss is telling me, hey, now that the Jaguars, Saints, and Cowboys are mediocre, can you please put up prop bets on next head coach, all the trade rumors, and who's going to be gone for the Cowboys, Jaguars, and Saints? Never work with your boss late at night when he's angry.
All right. Very interesting. AB, go.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about Hurricane Raphael. It'll come in mute when it's time to go. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
All right. My
5
Monday
memberships
mishap. My Monday mishap is this. What do we call this segment? We call it a mishap. And when you are the highest paid player in the league and you make $60 million a year and your team is getting butt whipped in Atlanta, don't you think that maybe the cameras would all be on you? But yesterday, Dak, apparently he doesn't care because he was caught on camera saying, we effing suck. That's right. We effing suck. Well, we all know that already, Dak. And you played just good enough to have the overs come in and get close at the end of the game. You're down by double digits. But now you've got to go back to Dallas. And all the fans that pay thousands of dollars and fill those suites, and Jerry Jones, who gave you $240 million, and you're going to say that your team effing sucks? Oh, first of all, that's gimmick infringement from my man Z. Second of all, you've got to get it together. And we're going to talk about your injuries coming up in about 10 minutes. But that's as big a mishap as I've ever seen. The camera is always on you. All right. Well done today, gentlemen. Well freaking done. All right. Now, NFL is always king. And we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks. But who truly is? Well, this discussion, this analysis brought to you by, and in 5 days, I cannot wait, Weekend in Taipei.
You said no more secrets.
Shut up and let me drive. Come on, who is this guy?
I'm an undercover BEA agent to finally take Kwong's operation now.
Bring me my wife, and you killed John Lawler.
So you came back after all this time for Kwong, but not for me?
I just need 1 weekend. I'm not gonna lose you again. So you haven't changed a bit.
Thanks.
Weekend in Taipei, this Friday, only in theater.
You're damn right, this Friday, only in theaters. Can't wait to be front and center. AB, you played the Lions, and we talked about it on the morning show on Sunday, and I said in my heart, I believe they are the best team in football. They have now moved up at DraftKings, and they're the second betting favorite behind the Kansas City Chiefs. But I want you to hear, AB, and then get your reaction to Dan Campbell after the game yesterday, and this is part of the reason this team is like this. Producer man.
I don't think it matters where we play at. Doesn't matter about the conditions. We knew that coming in here. We didn't want to know if we validated anything. Or we're going to validate being able to play in the weather. It doesn't matter, man. That's just the way you're built. It's the way you're built. That's an outstanding win, man. That's 2 division wins. I am unbelievably proud of you guys. That's the way to come in and just ball. That's the way to ball, all right? I got 2 game balls. Number 1.
That's exactly right. AB, let's bring you in right now. I mean, that's a coach that I want to run through a wall for. Are they the best team?
They are, absolutely. Now, number 1, I have got to get a hold of that NFL logo thermal shirt. I love anything that's just the league. Like, that's what we represent, the shield. But number 2, remember this. 3 years ago, this team had lost like 15 games in a row by 1 score. All right? It was just ripping out of your chest. And you know what Dan Campbell did? He stood there and took the bullets and told the team, if you keep fighting, I swear to God, it will turn around. If you just keep fighting and keep believing, it'll turn around. And you know what they did? They listened to him. And you know what it did? It turned around. And now they are built to fight in any condition because they've gone through it and took the bullets. I absolutely love Dan Campbell and love this team, man. They are not afraid of anybody or anywhere, anytime. You want to fight in the parking lot, they can do that too.
They will punch you in the face. Z, you already said at the top of the show, but I would love to understand why you believe the Lions truly are right now the team to beat.
You know, take for instance yesterday. I mean, that's a really good team in Green Bay that they beat down, and that game wasn't that close. I mean, it was 24-6 at one point. They dominated that game. And as Dan Campbell is saying there, it doesn't matter where they play, doesn't matter what conditions, awful weather all game yesterday at Lambeau. The Lions don't care. The Kansas City Chiefs, they have 2 wins this year by double figures. The Lions have 4 wins this year by double figures. The Lions' 1 loss is kind of a stupid loss. It was at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is also why I believe that this Buccaneer team is going to be the team that finally tags a loss on Kansas City tonight in Monday Night Football. But you look at this Detroit team, and top to bottom, they feel like a wagon. And this Chiefs team, you know, there are games where offensively you feel like the defense is carrying them. I feel like if you still believe that the Chiefs right now are the best team in the league, you're doing it because you're giving Patrick Mahomes the benefit of the doubt. And that's fine. I mean, he obviously deserves the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think you're actually seeing things clearly enough. I think Detroit's the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, you know, I'm the biggest Chiefs fan there is out there, certainly that you know, and I would agree with you. I've been saying this for 3 or 4 weeks because, Raphael, let me come over to you. When you look at their schedule coming up, it's not exactly murderer's row. Jags, Colts, Bears, Packers again, but at home, Bills, Bears, Niners, Vikings at home. They very easily could end up with maybe 2 losses this entire season and have the number 1 seed. But do you think they're the best right now?
Oh, no one's even close. That's even with the Kansas City coaches. I have them at a far distant second. Granted, they're playing tonight and they could lose at Tampa Bay, but I'm going to speak on the future side. The reason why the Chiefs are still the betting favorite, the books are heavy on the Lions. The Lions should be actually favored, but Patrick Mahomes will always get more money than the Detroit Lions. So that's why they made the Kansas City Chiefs still the favorite. Granted, they have so much action on the Lions. They can either so balance the whole future pool, keeping the Kansas City Chiefs as a favorite.
I think the biggest negative, Charles, that we've talked about with the Lions and everything the guys have said is spot on, has Dan Campbell learned his lesson? When we get to the playoffs, will he, instead of going for it on 4th and 3 from the 31, take the 3 points that you were just talking about 5 minutes ago? If he can do that, I think the Lions should be the Super Bowl favorite. Do you?
I agree, but that's one of my main reservations is Dan Campbell in the playoffs. We saw him last season implode, so that's going to be the determining factor whether or not this Lions team can get over the hump. But as far as them being the best team right now, I was kind of fighting it. I'm no longer fighting it. I thought maybe the Hutchinson injury might hamper them, but no. As of right now, that was a big test for them to get past against the Packers on there in Lambeau. So, yeah, I really like this Lions team to go far.
About 30 seconds, AB. Get 15 for you, 15 for Z. Washington, Minnesota, Green Bay. Who could be one of those 3 that could beat the Lions?
Washington could do it. You get Jaden Daniels with that team playing, they're getting everywhere on the field. Offense, defense, special teams. This team believes as well, man. I'll roll with Washington on that answer.
Z, 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Green Bay, and Detroit was a lot better than them. So I think just by default, you go Washington. But I get it was a rivalry game. Washington had their hands full yesterday against the Giants. Let's see how Jaden Daniels performs in meaningful games in November and December.
That's a really good point. Right now, they are 7-2. Philadelphia has 6 wins. Minnesota has 6 wins. Green Bay has 6 wins. And the Atlanta Falcons have 6 wins. It's going to be tough in that NFC to get into the playoffs. Tough sledding. Really good discussion, boys. Really good discussion. Still to come, we got to educate and entertain. Did we see the greatest 14-yard run of all time? And also, we're comparing numbers tonight. Monday Night Football. It is DTL rolling through live on Stadium. All right, all of you degenerates out there watching on our YouTube channel. And AB, I guess it shouldn't be a surprise, but I think the person that it was is surprising. The Raiders wake up today, they have fired a couple people, but it's not Antonio Pierce because they would be paying like 3 head coaches now. But isn't it ironic that they fire the offensive coordinator, but Dennis Allen, who wanted to stay in Vegas, gets fired by the Saints the same day the Raiders make all of these issues? Are the Raiders like the worst run organization now in all of football?
Well, it's so fascinating, right? The Dallas Cowboys are the worst ran football organization because they're just a mess, right? The Raiders just seem like it's just confusing. Tom Brady's going to come in and change that organization and become the greatest owner in NFL history. But here's the problem when you start firing assistants, all right? Eventually, you get rid of people to fire, and then they fire you.
It's like this, Z, eventually, but I didn't think Antonio Pierce was going to be a good head coach anyway. That rah-rah stuff, it's kind of over now.
I think all that stuff is nonsense, where you get the bump last year when they fire Josh McDaniel. It doesn't mean that Antonio Pierce was doing a good job, all right? Just getting rid of Josh McDaniel, you're going to wind up getting a bump. You could put a statue in that locker room for the rest of the season. You're going to wind up getting a bump because you got no more Josh McDaniel. I don't buy into the whole no coaching experience, but the players respect you. So obviously it's going to work. Take Dan Campbell, for instance. It took him a long time to get this head coaching gig. Heck, Dan Campbell was an interim coach for the Dolphins a dozen years ago.
That's right.
And it took him another 8 or 9 years to get a head coaching job. So just handing the job over to Antonio Pierce, it's a little bit insulting to the guys who've been working and coaching as coordinators for as long as they have.
I only got 10 seconds, AB. Go.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of that, you know what's weird? Lane Kiffin was the Raiders coach 20 years ago.
Oh, my God. I can't even believe it's been 20 years. That is absolutely bananas. But there's a lot of coaches out there that don't like the fact that and it happened in Indianapolis with my man Jeff Saturday. He came in. It was way too much for him. Now he's back at ESPN. Got to earn that spot. We're back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, we have crossed the bottom of the hour. Welcome back to DTL, having a good day. The live number is solid today on a Monday as we count down also to primetime live tonight on Stadium as we about 10:32 in the East, 7:32 out here in the West. Hopefully you guys are having a good start to your day. I am the coach, and I got the best crew in the business. Tonight, 7 to 8 Eastern time, we count down to Monday Night Football, everything, including who's going to get into the club. We've had the longest drought in the history of the club. So somebody's got to get in again tonight. Now, we're going to get to in about 5 minutes. Little comparisons, quarterback, running backs, receivers. But right now it's time to educate, entertain. All right, some big topics today. I just mentioned Dak and his little faux pas when it comes to talking on camera. AB, he's got an MRI on the hamstring today. CeeDee Lamb has an MRI today. They're the most expensive franchise in American sports and one of the top around the world. Is their season, with still half of it to go, over?
Oh, it's done. It's absolutely done. And I tell you what, I would just go ahead and start playing Trey Lance. Just see what you have. Just play him. Like, I know Cooper Rush is the 2, but you might as well find something out of him.
Z, would you play Trey Lance and sit your $60 million quarterback?
Well, I mean, you're only sitting your $60 million quarterback if this MRI turns awry and, he can't play for the next few weeks. There's a reason why it was Cooper Rush yesterday. They've had over a year. They've had a couple seasons now firsthand looking at Trey Lance. Look, they didn't get Trey Lance for a 7. They got him for a 4th. There's a little bit of value in a 4th-round pick, and they haven't used him at all. There's a reason for that. They see him every day. He's not an NFL quarterback. Isn't
it amazing that the 49ers never get taken to task for the big miss that they made when they drafted Trey Lance out of a Division I AA, Raphael? And now you've got this mess in Dallas, and when you look at their record at 3-5, they're now 2.5 games out, and it feels like they're 8 games out.
See, it seems like 10 games out to me. And it's just crazy how bad. They're going to be sellers. I would not be shocked the next 24 hours. We might see some pieces fly by. Cleveland, Cowboys, Saints. We could be some big teams that we thought playoff bound be huge sellers. And it would not shock me if the Cowboys are sellers. They need draft picks.
No doubt about it. We're going to stay in the NFC East, Big Chuck, because only the Eagles can win a game and have negative stories coming out of it. Nick Sirianni, again, they're up big, and then he gets in the middle, and Philadelphia radio, it's a mess. But during that game, if people haven't seen it, and we can't show it because it hasn't been time yet. But Saquon Barkley had maybe the greatest run I've ever seen, certainly for 14 yards. Where would you rate it? Would you say that's the top run you've ever seen?
I mean, it's up there. I've seen some great runs. Barry Sanders had some great runs. Marshawn Lynch had a great run against the Saints. I've seen some pretty spectacular runs, but it definitely ranks up there. Anytime you turn your back to a defender and jump over that's pretty spectacular. So I definitely rank it up there, but I don't know if it's the top all time.
AB, I've never seen a runner spin and then jump backwards over a defender to get another 3 or 4 yards. It was insane.
It was like looking at a Livy Dunn NFL player, right? Like on the balance beam, like just pulling moves. It was phenomenal. Saquon Barkley's a freak, man, because he is not a little dude, man, and he is so athletic. It's fun to watch him play.
Z, is that the greatest 14-yard run we've ever seen?
Just a reminder, by the way, to Giants fans, they essentially chose Daniel Jones over the guy who is doing things we've never seen before. It is not the greatest 14-yard run I've ever seen, but because it's about the one move. It's about what he did there. So that move he made may be one of the greatest things I've ever seen in a run. I've never seen it before. Like Charles says, anytime that you jump backwards and you hurdle, it's a good. Anytime. I've never seen that, but what do you mean anytime? This isn't a regular occurrence. All right. The first time I saw it, it's an amazing thing. It was yesterday.
Roger said if he scored, that's one thing. He got 3 more yards. Tough audience, Raphael. Tough audience.
Yeah, my phone was blowing up because I was sleeping during this game, and I had to see the play on my phone. And I actually went back to the game to watch it because I wanted to see on my big screen. It was unbelievable. The best move I've ever seen, not the best 14-yard. That was crazy. Turned around. The spin move was fantastic. Then he's jumping up backwards.
We need to teach Raphael how the show doesn't need to be like a reality show, because we think you're watching every game. You're like, I was taking a nap at 2:30 in the afternoon, but this is no, you're watching every single game.
Yeah. I was down there at the Church's Chicken getting a 4-piece and biscuit sweet tea. I didn't see it, but I heard about it. The fellas over there were telling me.
Hey, my mute was on. That's all I was happy about.
Oh my gosh! All right, gentlemen, we got some big time matchups tonight in Monday Night Football. I think we need to get started a little bit early. So let's play the over under game here. AB, let's start with the quarterbacks because people love betting props on quarterbacks. Here are their numbers according to DraftKings. You can take either one. I don't care how your take goes. Are we going over under anything you see on the screen? AB, go.
We are going to go with Patrick Mahomes over 249.5 in comparison. I think Baker Mayfield's going to have a ton of attempts. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to have a ton of big plays. So I'll take Patty Mahomes here. Let's get it.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes for AB. By the way, Phil says Saquon definitely growing on me. Phil, me too. Z-Man, coming over to you. You see all the numbers here. Anything tickle your fancy?
Well, you already know I like over Baker Mayfield, one of my picks today, and I know we'll do whip around in a little bit here, and I'll give you the rest of the picks. But one of them, I liked Baker Mayfield over 250 yards, so certainly I like over 236.5. And I'll tell you what else. I like Mahomes under. I like Mahomes under 249.5 yards, but I really like the Baker Mayfield over.
They have certainly started winning in different ways, and it's not just about Patrick throwing for 300 yards anymore. That's for sure. Raphael, do you like any over-unders here?
Z-Man's correct. Give me Patrick Mahomes under 249.5. If they have a big lead, they're going to be running the ball, and he's just not been slinging it around like we've seen old Patrick Mahomes. So 249.5, give me the under.
Big Chuck, give it to me.
Make that a trifecta. I could definitely see Baker. Patrick Mahomes under, playing a more balanced game, but Baker going over because they potentially are behind and having to throw and try to get back into the game.
I was at a charity event a couple weeks ago, and the guy who does the auction, they were doing that thing where they count down and they go $5,000, another five. I feel like that's what we have when Robert's in the chat. 5 more memberships, 5. He just keeps winning. He keeps winning every weekend with our plays. So, Robert, thank you very much. Another 5 memberships. And remember, it is random. We don't know who's going to get them. The computer picks them. We want everybody here. All right, let's go to the ground now, AB, because tonight, who would have known a few weeks ago that Kareem Hunt would have his name on our screen? But that's the deal. Then Bucky Irvin, he had a nice week last week. Anything you like here?
I don't hate Kareem Hunt in this situation, but I do like Bucky Irvin because, especially in the third and fourth quarter, there could be an opportunity where the Saints are just jumping back in a 2 safety shell kind of bracket nickel formation here, saying we're not going to give you a big, long touchdown, which opens up Bucky Irving to just run draws, man, long to get him 10, 15 yards to carry. I like Bucky Irvin here. That's a low number. It's very attainable.
Z, go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bucky Irvin over 32.5 rushing yards. You know, we know that Baker Mayfield doesn't have the huge options right now with Evans and Godwin out, and I could see them going to Bucky Irvin plenty. A little bit in the passing game too, but let's go over 32.5 rushing yards for Bucky Irving.
I mean, the man had 90 yards last week. All right, Raphael, what do you like here? Either guy.
Bucky Irvin receiving yards, that's what I'm looking at. But Kareem Hunt over 63.5. If it's a blowout game, we can see Hunt feeding all second half.
He went over this number in the first half last week. Big Chuck.
I like both overs. Bucky Irvin, 6 of 8 went over this. Kareem Hunt, 3 or 4. Yeah, I think they're going to lean on running games, especially on the KC side.
All right, and on the receiving side, we're going tight ends tonight because tight ends are where it's at. Cade Otton on one side, and you got Travis Kelce on the other. AB, coming to you. What do you like here?
I like both of them, to be completely honest with you. I'll take Cade Otton if we're doing a comparison here, picking 1 over 53.5 because he's going to have action all night long, especially if the Bucs are playing from behind. But Kelce will get his too, man. But, yeah, I'll roll Cade Otton if we're choosing one over the other.
And I have a feeling Cade Otton will be in the gym tonight as well. The last couple of weeks, Travis Kelce has started to get it going with his catches and also with his yards.
Cade Otton over. Last week, he had 81 yards receiving. The week before against Baltimore, he had 100 yards receiving. So I love Cade Otton over 53.5.
And Roberto says, I like Otton for over receptions. All right, Raphael, coming to you.
Yeah, Otton over completely. And Kelce, I want him under just so I can see Coach's head just blow up because he was at his girlfriend's concert again. I just want to see under on that one.
Oh, my God. If he goes under 61.5, I'll lose my mind. Charles, talk to me.
Love the Cade Otton over. I would back Kelce also on the Otton receptions like that too. You maybe look at some alternative numbers like 5 or him to get 5, 6, maybe 7 catches on that side because he's primarily the main target for Mr. Mayfield.
Spell Dog says very good chance of rain here in Kansas City tonight. And AB, we knew that was a situation yesterday in Green Bay. They have a really good surface in Kansas City. And when you're talking 40 to 60 degrees, it's not always a big issue at all. But maybe tonight, your thoughts?
Yeah. So, all right. So when you have weather, okay, what you have to do is you have to grip the ball a little bit tighter here at the top. Okay. So having large hands, all right, actually does matter. And then number 2, your mechanics. All right. You're going to actually, if you have a long, kind of throw mechanic, you're going to shorten it up a little bit and throw fastballs. And no one in the NFL is better at that than Patrick Mahomes, getting out of the pocket and just looking like a shortstop, right? Like when you just scoop it and throw, right, on a, double play. That's the kind of mechanic that you want in a rain game. Patrick Mahomes actually might play better. It just depends on the dude's catching it. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Like if you could adjust, that is your type of game. That's why Jared Goff looks so good. He could play in the rain because he could throw fastballs quick, man.
30 seconds, Z. How important has DeAndre Hopkins been for Kansas City?
I love Hopkins. Well, he hasn't been that important yet. I think we're going to start to see it tonight. Last week, he played pretty much a full set of, playing time, but he didn't necessarily have the whole playbook. We're talking an extra week now. I think he's a big factor tonight.
All right. Very good. Again, a full hour tonight on Stadium, on Amazon Prime, on Roku TV, on YouTube TV as we count down to Monday Night Football. Can Kansas City I mean, franchise records falling all over the place. It would be their 14th straight win. Because let's remember, they finished last year very, very good, went through the playoffs, and won the Super Bowl for the second straight year. All right, still to come here on the show. Of course, we've got the whip around we're going to look forward to a little bit as well. It's a really good day. Hopefully, you guys are off to a good start. It is DTL Live only on Stadium. All right, gentlemen, as we head into another week, tomorrow college football rankings come out. AB, we know Oregon's going to be number 1, but you're my college football guy. Who's going to be number 2 tomorrow?
Man, I mean, it's got to be Georgia, right? Like, you've got Georgia there, you've got Ohio State that's up there. I'm just fired up for it, man. I'm finally excited to see like the first rankings, and now it's going to be official, and every single conference game through the end really, really matters. But yeah, man, it would be hard not to have Georgia.
Yeah. Z, let me come over to you. You've been to a college game every weekend but one. You are so dialed in. What do you think maybe like the top 4 look like tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think the top 4 is going to look very similar, if not the exact same, to what the AP poll is. Oregon's 1, Georgia's 2, Ohio State 3, Miami 4. Is it possible that Miami is maybe a spot or 2 lower than that? That's possible. I'm interested to where they're going to put Notre Dame. You know, Notre Dame 7-1 right now. Think about this. You know, if you judge it based on the AP poll, Notre Dame would currently be in the college football playoff. They lost to Northern Illinois. I mean, has there ever been a team? The answer is no, by the way. Has there ever been a team that has competed for a national championship that lost to Northern Illinois? Because if you're in, even those 12 teams, if you're in the college football playoff, you're competing for a national championship. So I'm really interested where Notre Dame winds up tomorrow.
It's fascinating, Raphael. I got about 20 seconds for you because the SEC, they're beating each other up, but Notre Dame did lose to Northern Illinois. So what do you do with that loss?
Yeah, I can't wait to see where Notre Dame goes, because if they're higher than Indiana and BYU, I'm going to throw my TV out the window, because IU and BYU should be ahead of Notre Dame.
Yeah, a lot of teams kicking themselves too. Iowa State losing at home in the final 20 seconds to Texas Tech. They were in line in the Big 12. BYU now, that highway is just clear for them in the Big 12. And I think sometimes we forget where some of these teams actually are now. Oregon is a Big 10 team. We forget that. Oh, it's going to be fun. Again, tomorrow night, we've got to do something special. I don't know what it is. We're back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back as we head towards the finish line here on a Monday vibe. It is DTL only on Stadium, Amazon Prime. Real quick, before we get to the whip around, a couple of things I want to get into. So the other day, I need everybody on the screen, producer, man. I was at a place that I call Epic Wings, and I believe College Game Day. You weren't there, Z, but this couple sits down. Imagine this, and they start talking to me and my son, and they're saying, "Oh, my son plays wide receiver at Cal." I said, Cal? Yeah. I said, are you over the loss to Miami yet? He literally couldn't even talk about it. His wife said he can't talk about it. His son's a starting wide receiver, and just randomly at a Wings place, he sits next to us. That right there, we were talking about it at the break. That game for Miami could be the difference of them getting in. They were down 20, and the parents of the players can't even talk about it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I would tell the family the game was a month ago. Maybe you butch up a little bit. All right, you're the only team in the country. You're the only team in the world this year that's lost to FSU. The only one. There's one team in the whole world that has lost to FSU this year. It was Cal. Well, maybe you get over the loss to number 4 Miami.
I agree. There's a lot of really big high school teams out here in the area I live in. Modern Day, you've heard of them. High school football out here is absolutely bananas. So many great players. All right, I want to play a little game before we get to the whip around, because all of these seasons sneak up on us. And college basketball starts tonight. But as I was doing the research for the show, I was like, who are even the top-ranked teams? So I want to do this. I want to name the top 5 teams. And if you have a guess, you raise your hand. I call on you, because I don't think that we're actually – don't look at anything. Don't look at the chat. I don't think that you guys collectively can name the top 5 preseason basketball teams in the country. I don't think you can do it. All right. So I'm going to go around, and we're going to take guesses. AB, start with you. Give me one of the top 5 teams.
Ooh, Duke.
Number 7. They play tonight against Maine. Now, I'm making my own sounders. Z, give me a top 5 team in college basketball.
Wow. All right. I'm going to go Ohio State.
Raphael.
Give me Soupy's team, Connecticut.
All right. That's one. They're preseason number 3. Charles.
I was going to say, let me say Arkansas.
You guys are some of the best in the country. That's how hard this is. AB, what do you got?
North Carolina. No, Arizona.
Arizona. Z.
I'm going to go. Let's go Alabama.
Number 2. Yes, very good. Ding, 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 ding. Alabama. That's what I'm saying. You don't even think about some of these teams. 3 of the 5 I wouldn't even think about. Raphael, give me a guess.
Rackhawk Jayhawk?
Number 1. And they've already lost the preseason game at Arkansas.
At Arkansas.
All right, so we still have number 4, number 5. Charles, you have another guess?
I was going to say Auburn, but
I'll give you guys a hit. No, that's completely wrong. Auburn, come on. The last
I got you.
in the big. All right, give it to me, AB.
All right. So first off, look, I'm not going to say it because in the chat, but yeah, Bill Self, I mean, we got to give some love. Iowa State.
Boom! Ding, 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 ding. Iowa State preseason number 5. Preseason number 5. Everybody in the chat's trying to give you guys hints. They're all trying. We got one more team. It's inside the Big 12. They've been good the last couple of years. Come on.
How about Kansas State?
Oh, no, but they have been good the last couple of years. Not Kansas State. I'll give you, Raphael, and Z one more guess, and then we're going to move on. Inside, let's go to Texas. They're in the state of Texas.
Texas Tech?
Oh, my God. I've got to stop saying we have the best crew in the building.
I got 2 right.
Charles.
it has to be Baylor.
No.
Houston,
what are
dog.
we doing?
Houston.
Thank you, AB. Got to be Baylor. My daughter's actually going on a college visit there in 3 weeks. Baylor. If I have to move to Texas for my daughter, I'm going to be pissed. You said it's got to be Baylor. That's the quote of the freaking day. See, that's what I'm talking about. NBA, college basketball, that was a test. Nobody pays attention until we get to January. Period. Just too much going on. Gentlemen, well done. Well done. That was a lot of fun. All right, if you weren't here at the top of the hour, and I see our live number is amazing today, so thank you to all of you. But it continues to go up like this, which means a lot of you weren't here at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We got you covered. A little something we like to call the whip around. And this is where we go 10 seconds or less. One teeny tiny nugget on each play. AB, start us off.
If it were perfect weather, I would love playing Patrick Mahomes over 4.5 rush attempts and Baker Mayfield over 3.5 rush attempts. In the rain and the slop, I love it even more. Take these quarterbacks rushing attempts, both of them, before these numbers go up.
Boom and boom. Charles, we got day soccer. Talk to me.
Brentford first half team total over half a goal. They've scored in 7 straight and 3 of their last 4 versus Fulham. And Parma team total over 1.5. They average 1.6 at home.
Shout out David, says, Coach, another great show. Thank you, David. Raphael, give me your 2.
Buccaneers Chiefs. Both teams have scored 20-plus points at plus 150. And Baker Mayfield over 236 passing yards, minus 3 nickels. I am blown away at that number.
All right. Very, very low for as good as he's been. Z-Man, bring us home.
All right, scare money don't make money. So we're going with the Buccaneers to tag Kansas City with their first loss this season. Buccaneers outright plus 320, and that also means that the quarterback's got to have a big game. So Baker Mayfield over 250 passing yards at plus 110, and Baker Mayfield 2 passing touchdowns at plus 130.
All right, here's also what I'm going to do. Because you're giving up 9 points or 9.5. If the Bucs win on the field, I will gift. So I got to do 5 memberships tonight, which I will do. I'll do another 5 on tomorrow's show if the Chiefs lose on the field. That's how confident I am that they're not going to. All right, 2 things of business before we get the hell out of here. The Howie Schwab crew play of the day. What did the crew select, AB?
They have selected the Chiefs. Surprise, surprise, baby. Let's go with the Chiefs.
Thank you, crew. Somebody loves me out there. And we end every single show with Rafi stat of the day, which today is
Patrick Mahomes is 8-3 straight up on Monday Night Football games, and 9 of those 11 have hit the under.
interesting. Any thoughts, AB, on the fact that they win, but, man, they don't score a lot of points at home?
Yeah, it also means their defense is playing well. Spags, man, is an underrated defensive coordinator. He's fantastic.
It really is. Z, any final thoughts tonight as we head into what really is, for the Chiefs, they don't even have to worry about the division anymore. I mean, the Broncos are 5-4. They're 5-4. And I don't know if you guys can hear that. My alarm's going off right now. Somebody's breaking into my house in real time. I'm kidding. Z, they now have to focus on the number 1 seed more than their division.
Yeah, they are 2 games ahead of the next 2 teams. You got the Steelers and the Bills, who both have 2 losses. So they do have some wiggle room there. But you look at the other side, and Tampa really needs this game to keep pace. They lost to Atlanta last week. They're a game back of them right now. Obviously, you got the tiebreak situation. So you lose today, you find yourself 2 back in the loss column of the Falcons.
Boom and boom.
Real quick, sorry.
Yeah,
Apologies. I did not mean to interrupt you. We have had a poll mishap. The crew chose the Bucs +9, not the Chiefs. Apologies. I was given some early data here in the updating. It's the Bucs +9. Apologies.
Then I take my compliment back from the crew. There's no love. It's me against the world. Me against the world. All right. Raphael, I only got 10 seconds for each of you. Go.
Voter fraud right there.
Charles, any final take? 10 seconds.
I think that backs up the Chiefs and under are primarily usually the correlation. Good defense, but they'll put up a few points. So, yeah, love it.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. What a great show. Kevin says he'll coach. Oh, he will be showing up on social media today. Trey, you best believe that. Now it's time for all of you to go out into the world, for you to pay it forward, be kind to one another, be honest with each other. That's the only way that this thing can work, and understand this. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, Lumble, my man from the Dirty Big Chuck, my numbers guy, Raphael. Won't see him till next week. Got a new president. My man Z, always bringing it strong. AB, producer man. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. See you tonight. Primetime Live, 7 Eastern. Don't be late. Always right here on Stadium. Good luck.